The other day I was playing Dark Souls Remastered, and after getting a perfect no-hit parry run on Gwyn, I just thought to myself the same thing I'm sure every Dark Souls player thinks. This game is just way too easy. And after about 11 whole seconds of research, I devised a way to prove that Dark Souls is in fact a baby game. To start off our playthrough of Fisher-Price's My First Souls-like, we pick the Bandit class, and choose the Master Key as our gift. Then once we have our balding Ryan Reynolds look-alike ready, it's time to dive headfirst into this educational game for preschoolers. First we do our new game checklist. Get Dungeon Cell Key, exit cell, get our weapon, juke the ball, give Oscar Baby a little kiss, Sunny D in the too long door key, plunge the demon and smack his ass. Get the third required key of the tutorial area. Open the door, and then get crowed. Now that we're in Lordran proper, there's a couple things to grab. First is the 3 humanities on the well, then over to the elevator shaft to drop down and collect some homeward bones. Then it's down to the graveyard to collect 2 large souls in the Zweihände. Then it's back to the bonfire to prepare for the easiest game of our lives. Pop the 2 souls in one of the humanity, put 2 levels in strength and 1 in dex, and then we restore our humanity. Now to the first area of the game, the catacombs. You might have heard people call the catacombs a noob trap, but that's only because Dark Souls is a game aimed at the early childhood development demographic, so most of the player base still hasn't even developed fine motor control yet. Now, we equip our big fucking sword and get running. Just ignore all the skeletons and do a sick flip off this ledge. Sippy sip, take another dive, and summon Paladin Leroy. While Leroy is getting his ass-kicking jeans on, take a run into the boss fog and try not to get shredded. Once Leroy finally decides to join in, it's time to go and fight the hardest boss Dark Souls has to offer. And because this is a game designed to teach toddlers how to count to 3, the only way to actually lose this fight is by actively killing yourself. Victory achieved, and we have our prize, the Rite of Kindling. Now bone back to Firelink and dump those new souls into some strength and vitality or whatever, because now it's time to collect the other kind of souls. Now it's down the elevator to the cursed grave that is New Londo to pick up the first Firekeeper soul. Then the Master Key comes into play. We open the door into the Valley of the Drakes and cross the chasm to get to the second best location in the whole game. Now navigate through the sewer exit, get the second soul, and then return home however you prefer. Climbing out, bone, or just fucking dying. Once back in Firelink, we return to the Valley of the Drakes a second time to cross to the other side and take the elevator up to Darkroot. We pick up the Grasscrest Shield on the way up to Undead Parish, where our last soul is. Down the elevator to Firelink to claim our prize. Just sit at the bonfire and then... Yeah, so apparently it doesn't matter whether you let Lautrec out or not. If you take both the Firekeeper souls from Blighttown and Undead Parish while he's still alive, he just kills the Firekeeper anyway. Fuck. Let's roll this one back. This time around, we skip the soul and go upstairs, clearing out the channel and his little buttos. Up to Lautrec's cell for the second use of the Master Key this run. We put Lautrec in his place and then into the ground. Of course, got to equip the Fap Ring. Then we pick up the Firekeeper soul for real this time and head down to Firelink. We speak to Anastasia and have her upgrade our Estus Flask to +3, pop 2 Humanity, and kindle the Firelink Bonfire. And there we have it. Having to kill a grand total of 2 bosses, we have 20 +3 Estus Flasks. And since the Dark Souls fanbase is mostly made of kids who think not shitting their pants is an achievement, I'll do the math for you. A +3 Estus Flask restores 600 HP, times 20 gives us 12,000 HP worth of Estus. This is a baby game with baby difficulty and a baby player base. Thank God Steam lets me remove things from my account.